When it comes to hard baits, not all of them are created equally. Some of them are going to have a different action, different sound, different quality components. And therefore, when you're picking different hard baits to get those reaction bites and trigger those aggressive strikes that you're hoping to get, you need to ensure that you're using a bait that, is built and going to make sense and last for you for some time.
The SPRO Aruku Shad is my go-to rattle bait anytime fish are feeding on shad. From early spring all the way to late fall, anywhere from grass to shale beds.
And it's something that you need to carry, whatever lake, river, reservoir that you're going to, or any kind of body of water, because basically they catch fish everywhere.
The Aruku Shad is a bait to me that really mimics a lot of different bait fish coming through the water, and you can choose based on the color, what bait fish you're mimicking. And I find that bait predominantly really suits my fishing needs when I'm fishing around grass. And what I want to do in those situations is get it in, around, and touching the grass, rip it out, and when I do that or pause it in that same type of a sequence, I can trigger some bites for some very lethargic fish a lot of times. There's one. There's maybe a better fish here. Oh yeah, nice fish. Caught him on the old Aruku Shad in here in the brush. There is scattered hydrilla all through here. And brush everywhere. Boy, he's green. He's mean. Come here, buddy. Oh yeah, pretty fish right there. The SPRO Aruku Shad is a bait that's a very go-to bait for me. In a couple different situations. I like to throw it when the water's cold around grass and around bushes and places like that where the fish are they may be buried up in the grass, or they may be sitting on the edge of some of the bushes or some type of cover, and I can take that bait based on the depth that I think the fish are will determine. If I think they're real shallow, I'll probably use a lighter one. If I think they're a little deeper, I'll use a heavier one.
Now this is a little more than a ½ ounce, it's like a 5/8, so it's a little bit heavier than your traditional type rattling baits, which is really good, especially if you're fishing around a lot of deep grass and you need to get in and out of there very, very quickly.
I can throw it up in and around that cover, let the bait sink down to where it's touching it or buried up in it, and then rip it out and pause it and make my rod dance, make the bait dance, and then that very erratic nature of the pauses, the ripping, the going fast, slowing down, falling in front of them. A lot of times it'll trigger some great strikes from lethargic fish. Water's 2 degrees warmer back here, and they are knocking the fire out of it when they bite. I mean, they're just nailing it. Boy, these fish are healthy. Anybody that's ever fished a lipless crankbait, and I'm partial to the SPRO Aruku Shad, but anybody that's ever fished one of these will tell you when you get on this kind of bite and you pause it and they hit it like a freight train and they start going the other way, will attest that it is one of the funnest bites that you'll ever have. And now you're going to get your feelings hurt. You're going to lose a couple because a lot of times they'll slap at it and get hooked on the outside of the mouth and they'll get away. But when they bite it, it's a blast.